guys, this is going to be game number 2 between Liquid Ret and OGS MC. The countdown has begun. The anticipation screen is coming up.
The suspense screen.
I love it.
What is the smoke monster? Who knows? It's like some old dead guy or something. I don't know. Spoiler alert. Anyway, this is going to be Ret versus MC on Shakuras Plateau, game 2 of their series. And over here on the left side of the map, again, we have our Zerg player from the team, TeamLiquid.net. It is Ret. Cheer for Ret if you're a Ret fan. All right.
And if you guys want this guy to close out the set, this is OGS MC spawning as our Red Protoss at the 3 o'clock. Let's hear some noise.
He's got the attitude. He's got the skills. I think he might be able to close this one out. We'll see.
And here we have it. So looks like we're going to have an early pylon set down in front. So MC is not done with his quick expanding. We'll see if that comes behind a Forge or if it's going to be very, very fast Nexus. But
that's really cool.
See if Ret picks up on that.
Well, I mean, we'll see if Ret does scout in time to see that. He's obviously going to find out that MC is not at the close by air positions with that Overlord fairly soon. But the interesting thing with MC's Wallen is that it's something that can work, but you need to act pretty quickly on that. Otherwise, you can have to worry about Zergling run-bys. MC knows that Ret tends to be more of an economy-oriented player like we saw last game, so it's reasonable for him not to be worried about that. But then again, I think when the reason MC started to actually struggle a little bit in the GSL is because he got too greedy in his games and players started taking advantage of him for that.
Certainly. You know, but Ret is a player who knows when to turn it on. If he ends up scouting a situation where you can move into mass mid-game aggression and put on some early pressure, he's certainly not afraid of doing that at all. About 150 resources saved up, and we'll probably see a Forge here in a second, I would imagine. No, dirty liar.
I think he's going to go Nexus first. I've got a feeling, man.
Yeah, it looks
no
like
Forge yet.
Saving up quite a bit of resources, no probe in sight, so unless he's planning to put on some shenanigans over here to stop this base, yeah, we are going to see Nexus first. And nope, there's Forge.
Oh, really? Oh, there we go.
MC
okay,
listening
he
to us, soundproof boots.
There, yeah.
Caster saying no Forge. Here's a Forge.
Yep, there's the Forge there for MC, and of course, putting that pylon down at the natural just to delay that even longer. Mortal Kombat! It's drone versus probe.
Anyway, yeah, pylon is in place. We have a few links being sent out along with that queen, and the Forge being set up over at MC's natural. There's the 400 resources, and there we have a Nexus.
Yeah. So I almost said Nesty, but it rhymes with MC, but it's a completely different player. Going for that Forge expand. And there's the cannon. He's going to be perfectly safe.
That drone is doing work.
I know. He's like it's like doing his little claw thing to try to like take down the pylon. It's not very effective though. He needs to like sharpen his claws or something like that. Zerglings help out. They're just showing him up. And Drone's like, why couldn't I have been a Zergling? Now I have to just become a building.
Drone can be whatever it wants to be whenever it grows up, though, man.
That's true. The Overmind is like, as long as you're happy, that's what's important.
A Zergling aspires to turn into a green pile and then explode.
There you go.
Anyway, so pretty similar build coming out of MC this time. Double gas after first gateway is laid down. Don't know if we're going to see DTs again this time, but he is certainly set up for some tech here in a bit. Well, gateway going to finish up here in a bit before links may make their way through first.
Yeah, you can go a couple different directions after getting those fast double gas. I mean, I keep expecting like we're going to see the Stargate come out from MC because he really does enjoy that quite a bit. Looks like Ret will be able to put a little bit of pressure on this Nexus here. Don't think MC would cancel it for 3 Zerglings, but he doesn't really have any units to deal with this. The first Zealot is not even halfway done quite yet.
Right, and the Zerglings are going to make their way into the main and could cause a little bit of mining disruption there. We'll see how much that MC actually reacts to this. Actually pulling quite a few probes off the line.
Yeah, Ret's going to love that. MC's going to lose some mining time there. It's a bit difficult to do that wall in on this map. It's so much space to have to take care of. So I'm not surprised at all to see Ret take advantage of that, at least get some scouting done. We might see him go in and take out a few probes, but nope. He's going to just run away. He's just going to be really annoying with those Zerglings. Yeah, that Zealot is going to get his cardio. Oh, he's actually engaging.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I think he just moved close enough in the Zerglings weren't set to, hold position or anything like that.
2 hit points.
Yep, it'll go down in just a second, but Ret transferring over a few drones over to his natural. He does have link speed about to finish, but he's not stopped mining his gas, so we may see a transition here in a bit. He's actually going ahead and putting up layer on his natural once the extra HP down there.
Very fast layers generally lately have been meaning fast infestation pits, so I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him do that. That Zealot finally did triumph. He has 3 kills. He's a disciple. Congratulations to him.
We do have gas number 2 coming up as well. We'll see if we get gas 3 and 4, and if he moves right into Infestors, like you say, there it is, gas 3 and 4. So high tech it is going to be. We have a Stargate coming out of MC. So that's his tech transition of choice.
Phoenix Zimba, huh? We'll see. We'll have to see. The Stargate play with the Protoss players, it's one of those things where it's a huge investment. It's like, I would kind of equate it with Cloaked Banshees for Terran. You're putting a lot into this, so if you don't do damage with it, you're going to be so far behind. And we've seen what happens more often than not lately in PvZ, where a Protoss player isn't quite able to make Stargate play work. So,
and we saw that MC had pretty good Phoenix control before, so he's in top form at the moment. And granted, it was against a Terran player, Ryung, but he made it work really, really well. And we do have a few Zerglings taking down the Destructible Rock, so Rhett can take his third here in a bit. Not going to take that little bit more exposed gold, rather just going to take the logical top left-hand corner. And Void Rays are actually coming out for MC.
All right. Yeah, probably getting the Void Ray first and getting a couple Phoenixes as well. But look at this, the Infestation Pit already done, immediately getting that upgrade. So yeah, he's going to have Infestors out very soon. And you know what? Infestors handle Void Rays and Phoenixes pretty well. Fungal's pretty good.
Rhett has actually had very, very good Overlord control these past couple of games. At the beginning of the game, he has 2 Overlords positioned so he can sacrifice them both at once, make sure that he has the supply limit raised. Actually taking a look, he sees the Void Ray. It is revealed, so he should be pretty well prepared for that. Already a Spore Crawler going down.
Well, that was a good sacrifice by Rhett. He knew exactly what time to move in there to see the buildings that MC had, and he happened to be right next to where the Stargate was. And the more important thing is he sees there's 2 Stargates. That's a huge deal that there's 2 Stargates instead of 1, because it means that MC is going to be very dedicated to this airplay rather than just throwing out a couple Void Rays and Phoenixes and seeing if he can do net damage and move into something else. So that's huge information for Rhett right there.
Yeah, we already see +1 ranged weapons about to finish up. Got about 70 seconds or so until that hits, and that should get done about the time these Void Rays start making their way across the map. But of course, the Infestors are already going to be in play, so these Void Rays will get fungled. That plus Queens plus Spines, or Spores, I mean.
By the third base of Rhett, check it out. Just took out an Overlord, supply blocked Rhett, and he's going to go to work on this hatchery, and there is not a lot that Rhett has right now that can deal with this. I think Rhett's going to need to cancel this.
Yeah, that's actually kind of interesting. Didn't send up any sort of a preventative Queen or anything along those lines.
The Queens are coming now.
Being sent out with some Overlords pooping down some creep. We have another Void Ray, though, that's sitting inside of the main, but there is a Spore Crawler and a Queen ready for that.
Yeah, that Void Ray in the main actually might be taken out. No, he gets it away in time, but this hatchery's getting low. And he, canceled. Wow. All right. Void Ray didn't even die. That's pretty good return on investment.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's going to be able to get away and recover the shields there, so the Void Ray is still going to be of quite some use. And now we see the Chrono Boosted Phoenixes coming out after that, so he's going to have quite the strong Air Force, +1 ground weapons coming up as well, complementing a ton of gateways. It's actually going to be 6 Gate and Twilight Council with +1 on top of those 2 Stargates. That's lots of support off of 2 base economy, though.
That's true, but MC is in a good position here because by going for 2 Stargates rather than just 1, he can produce enough Phoenixes to go with the Void Rays to lift a lot of the Infestors too and try to nullify that as best he can. So if MC decides to keep up with this for a little while, I think he can do some decent damage with it.
And we'll see if MC wants to push him with his air units and attack this head on. There are a lot of Infestors already up, though. They are going to start taking out the Zerglings that were trying to pick away the Destructible Rocks, at least temporarily, stopping the construction of the gold.
Yeah, it's a lot of Infestors out right now for Red. He's already got 8 out. They're all building energy. They're all gaining confidence as well.
Yeah,
they'll be like, I can do this. I can fight the Protoss army.
Man, they're pretty good. They have the ability that Frank in our office always likes to call Spawn Army. They also have mind control and stop and take a ton of damage. That's what I like to call their abilities.
That's true too. That all works. But you know what? Sometimes at the end of those PvZs, it's like the end of Starship Troopers is out, like, sticks its blade, and the Infestor is like, it's afraid, and everyone cheers. So, yeah. Anyone who's seen Starship Troopers probably gets that reference, but that's kind of an old movie. Somebody gets it.
One
all
guy.
Right. I heard you from over there. All right. That's a 90s movie, so it's actually getting kind of old now, sadly.
Yeah.
Oh, Fungal on this Void Ray. That is going to get taken out.
Hydralisk cleaned up one of those Void Rays. The second one is charged up, though. It looks like it's going to go head-to-head with a couple of Hydras. Not going to make it last all that long. Yeah. Looks like the Phoenixes come through, though. They do pick off 1 Hydra, maybe a second here in a second, but good fungal control taking out a lot of those. We do have Zealots working through the Destructible Rocks at the top left-hand corner, though.
1 Phoenix escapes, the other 2 get taken down, and MC working on those rocks, like he said, to get into that third base area. If he can get through there, he can do some decent damage. He's also getting Zealot charge. Templar Archives on the way for MC. He's going to be able to feed back those Infestors do some storms.
Yeah.
So MC is responding okay to this. I think he's
Moving
gonna be
up
fine.
to 8 gate, I believe, on 2 base, plus the double Stargates as well with the Templar Archives. As you mentioned, fungal growth goes down, stopping a lot of those Zealots in their tracks. Phoenix is coming behind, but they're lifting up a couple of units, and the Zealots are making their way through, taking out the relatively fragile Hydras at first. And it looks like these Zealots are actually going to inflict quite a bit of damage. Whether that's enough to stem the tide of units that Rhett has coming up, as he does have 50 supply in the advantage.
Yeah,
I
those
don't know if
Zealots
that's
have
enough,
been
though.
really cost-effective for MC to send in there. Look at that. There's not a lot that the Infestors can do, and it's like watching the bully pick on the small kid in elementary school right now. The Infestor's like, don't hurt me. But the Zealots are going to shove him right into a locker cat's pajamas. There's nothing they can do about it. Yeah,
I can relate.
I'm reliving my childhood right now.
Yeah, I know. I hear you on that, brother. Anyway, drones are being pulled at the moment. Rhett is losing quite a bit. Not the unit you want going after Zealots.
Not
a few
exactly.
roaches are pulling in as well. How many workers killed yet? Looks like MC actually only managed to pick away 9 workers thus far, so didn't inflict as much economic damage as I had anticipated.
Yeah.
But still finding himself down 60 supply as well without a third base.
Taking out all those Infestors will certainly help quite a bit. But yeah, like you said, I mean, he's really down on supply right now. The reason for that, too, is because he has not taken a third yet. Like you
Yeah.
said, I'm really surprised about this. He just wants things to work on 2 bases. Oh, no, now he's building the Nexus. All right, so very, very late third. And this may actually be a little bit too late because you know what? The gold for Rhett is already done.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard, especially with investing in so much tech at the moment, for MC to be able to push out and do any sort of damage whatsoever. So unless he wants to get really greedy and extend himself onto the map, Rhett is going to be able to macro free, and that's exactly what Rhett wants. That's what he's good at. So
Absolutely.
Rhett's certainly going to enjoy being on this 4 base here, especially with that gold.
Oh, interesting. Rhett getting the adrenal glands as well. We've been seeing a lot of players get that upgrade today. That's something that you almost never see otherwise. But Zerg players are finally thinking, hey, if I'm getting the infestation pit anyway, I can get that fast lair and I can get this really fairly cheap and really effective upgrade for Zerglings as well. So
Yeah.
cool to see that finally starting to get used a lot.
You're absolutely right. Players tend to, when they do go for it, it usually ends up being late game. You see it about the same time you see chitinous plating or something like that if they're going ultras.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, he's getting it nice and early and producing 32 lings to be able to take advantage of that. And Adrenal Glands actually only has about 50 seconds remaining, so those are going to be very, very effective lings.
Yeah.
Starting to bust their way through the Sharptool rocks on the right-hand side, but MC should be able to pick up on
Yep,
that.
Pylon's in a good position. That's why you put one there. MC's smart enough to realize that he's got to worry about those rocks, sending the Phoenixes right over there to scold the Zerglings harshly because there's nothing they can really do to them. Like, don't you leave those rocks alone.
Nope. Poke with my laser.
Zerglings. Yeah.
Couple of photon cannons up as
There
well.
we go. That's a little bit better than Phoenixes versus Zerglings, I think.
Yeah, Rhett going to his 5th base as well here at the 12 o'clock position, so he is going to be basically a beast economically. He's already banking a lot of resources. He's got Corruptors in the mix as well. He's pushing out with a very, very strong attack. These Templar have a lot of energy. There's Immortals in the mix as well. Very nice Storm forces a lot of units away for Rhett, but he's going to recommit to this attack immediately.
Yeah, I mean, MC is so tech heavy right now. He has such a small army. He needs perfect storms, and he's getting it. Whoa, look at those forest fields.
Wow. Okay,
Wow.
that's really impressive. I like that. We've got a few Hydras up, though, too, and it looks like the Charge-Lots are going to be able to move in and deal with that. Storm's actually taking out most of those units.
MC,
And MC
handling that beautifully. That was amazing. Yeah, round of applause for that. Wow. I mean, it's such a fun thing to watch when a player is saying, you know what? I'm just going to concentrate on my skill as a player, you know, in battle to win rather than just a big economy and just throw units at my opponent. That is cool to see.
Yeah, certainly, but MC's going to need to start inflicting economic damage here in just a bit. He already has the Void Ray sitting up here along with the Phoenix is trying to go after the Corruptors, but of course Phoenixes take a very long time to take out Corruptors.
Yep.
Oh,
he
MC
gets it.
just losing one of those Phoenixes there. He is going to need to take a 4th base pretty soon, though. Rhett, regardless, is going to be able to remax his army so many times over. He already has
Look at
Broodlords in
this.
play
They're
as they're
coming
starting to
across
make
the
their
map.
way. Yeah.
Here come the Lings and the Roaches coming from behind. More Corruptors as well to take on those Phoenixes. He's going to have to be careful, though. Storm doesn't do a lot against Broodlords, but with enough storms, it can add up.
And here we go. First storm goes down. Many of those lings are actually trapped.
Wow.
A lot of damage suffered. And actually, the Zealots were able to clean up the rest. So these Broodlords haven't done too much quite yet. Stalkers making their way up behind as well. They're going to be able to pick off the rest of the Broodlords. Just a few Roaches remaining. And MC once again on the back of these Archons and Immortals cleans up a much larger force than his own.
MC is like, you can have that big economy because when it comes down to the fights, I'm going to have the exact composition I need to crush whatever army you have. And MC is doing a brilliant job of that right now. just a bunch of roaches left over really for Rhett right now. He's making some more Broodlords, some more Lings as well, but it's going to take some time.
Yeah, a few Lings making their way out. I think there was a little bit of a misrally. There were a bunch of roaches that were being sent down there as well. Rhett finally realizes that and turns around. Let's see. Yeah, he is going to start going after his fourth, though. The Destructible Rocks, the gold are going down. Rhett is still maintaining the supply advantage through all of this, just given the fact that he was on 5 base for so long. MC, though, hanging in there like a champ. His unit composition is perfectly poised to take out what Rhett is throwing at him, apparently.
Yeah, I would say so. Rhett trying a little bit of Zergling aggression there, but running right into a bunch of Archons that's not exactly going to do a lot of damage. See what happens. And he can't break down the rocks either. There's cannons there. I mean, MC, he's getting that gold. He's kind of got Rhett in a very sticky situation right now.
Yeah, certainly, especially with those +3 weapons. Those Archons deal so much damage. Those Archons and Immortals are just... they're roach destroyers. They'll be able to run through those units like they're not even sitting there. And there are still a ton of roaches in this composition for Rhett. He doesn't have many Broodlords in his mix. If he tries to force some sort of a straight-up engagement, and he's going to have to at some point because he's maxing and going to be banking resources, I think MC's going to be able to rip right through it.
Well, Rhett's really got the right idea right now. I mean, he got the Hydralisk range, probably be adding on some more Hydras, and if he just goes, all right, I'm just going to produce a super high, big, beefy DPS army and just try to power through whatever you have, I think that's his best answer right now. He needs to use that economy, but look at this, Stalker's blinking into main right now.
Oh, and the Corruptors are going down. That's very, very bad for Rhett. He's trying to morph in a few Broodlords back there. Yes, indeed.
Those production buildings are in trouble, man.
And let's see, MC actually just going to go ahead and get whatever he can and try and move his way out of there. The Roach Warren goes down.
Yeah, he could have probably focused on the Hydra Den as well, but he did kill the Roach Warren. That's going to help him out quite a bit. The Roaches are kind of that big, meaty backbone to the Zerg army right now. So
bunch of Warpins with the Warp Prism, too, at the 12 o'clock.
Oh, nice. More Warpins coming in from MC. Do some damage.
Yeah, it looks like he's forcing those units to reposition as he sets up for an engagement in the middle of the map. Poor Archon getting way out of the way. No, 30 kill Archon. Don't expose yourself.
He's just so brave. Brings a tear to my eye. He's Executor Archon.
Here we go. It looks like he's going to force the engagement out of Rhett. Rhett actually lost a lot of forces trying to clean up the units over in the top right-hand corner. Storms and Immortals doing their work. Nice flank from Rhett, but it doesn't matter because the Immortals are so strong. Just the Stalkers and Immortals are going to be able to clean up these roaches, and then the Broodlords here in just a second. And it looks like MC may even be able to start inflicting economic damage.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is actually the beginning of the end for Rhett, possibly. It's going to take a lot to come back from this. MC has such a strong army right in Rhett's face right now. He's on the creep, and he doesn't care, man. He's like, this creep feels good. I'm just going to stay here for a while.
They have so many kills. That's ridiculous. Dealing out that much damage, they rip through hatcheries as well.
There's a 32-kill Immortal in there.
Yes.
Oh, and now it died.
Oh,
okay.
That's actually really sad.
He targeted on that one first.
Archon's dealing splash damage as well, so the Roaches are not going to be able to stand up underneath this. MC now at a 40 supply advantage. He's well on his 4th base. He's going to move to his 5th here in just a second, and I don't think that Rhett's going to be able to produce anything to take this down, and MC is probably going to take this game.
I think so. It's going to be tough for Rhett to come back from this. I mean, MC is up by 70 supply right now about. There's Blink Stalkers everywhere at the natural. MC just pulling back his Archons and Immortals for a second. That's
and there it is! Wow!
OGS MC, man. He is on fire today.
He comes out and 2-0s Ryung, and then Rhett right after that. Unbelievable. Sets himself up 2-0 in the pool. He is well in position to go ahead and take that $1,000 prize.